Alright guys, so I've got a new streaming setup here. Maybe this will help me keep up with the chat and things like that. So just remember, if you have anything you want me to look at, throw it up in chat. It's going to make me sign in the chat here real quick. It's going to let me use it. Okay. So, got any questions or stocks? Throw them up in chat. Alright, with that said, let's get into it now. Let me see what I've got here. Yes, we can go over the Palantir calls. We'll do that right now. And then I also bought some hood calls. We'll go over those too. Let me pull up the art thing here. Well, I know it's here. Right there it is. Okay, you can see right here. First thing I seen is Palantir was jumping, and then I looked to see, what reasons might it jump. And there's a couple of different new things out about it, but the thing I seen the most here was that Kathy Wood just bought more of Palantir than she did almost any other two stocks combined. If you can look right up here on the page here, she got almost 500,000 shares. The next highest one is almost 300 of this SGFY. Yeah, and then maybe Blade. So what she did is she found them on the dip. These have probably been ones she's been looking at. She waited for earnings because she thought they might dip, and she's bought in. Palantir is not a bad company. I know some people was talking about it being in Reddit. It's not a meme stock. It's actually really good. You can let me pull it up on my Weibo right here. So if we pull out to the 4 hour, you can see I've been watching this for a while. I've got all kinds of lines on it. I've been watching this one since about February or March. It's usually good for swing plays, things like that. So let's go closer in. This is a 15-minute chart. So when I seen it go over the support, which I was moving this around messing with it. When I seen it go over support, it went over, came back down, retested it, and bounced. That's when I said, okay, then that's a good support because it retested and bounced. Mixed with, it looks like it's going to follow the 15 and 18, and then I'll look for it to cool off and follow the 50 on up. Now, that doesn't mean there ain't going to be no dips. I'm not saying that's not going to dip here and there. A healthy stock has these little dips. Even on the smaller frames, they have little dips. But I do believe if we pull back out here one more second, I need to put me some more lines in here to kind of see like the step ups and stuff, something like that around there. But what I'm looking at on come back here on the recent time, at least around 27, 28, and then if it goes back to previous highs, if we're conservative about the previous highs, that would be right in that area. That's 36. I think some people are calling for $30 on their calls. Let me make sure which call I bought right here, because I don't want to. Yeah, I bought the $30 calls, mainly because when I ran them through the calculator, it seemed to have the best payout of all the others. And if we go to options here, Just making sure y'all's on the same page. If we go to options here, look at the volume here. Starting at 26, going to 30, it is almost 9,000, 12,000, 12,500, 5,000, and then 30 is 39,000. That means other people are seeing what we are seeing with the stock, plus usually with that high of a volume, that makes me think that there's some bigger players in this, some more like hedge fund type people or just big money in general might be playing this too. It's kind of a hedge or just a smart play, either one. And we can see for today that it's even up 112% already. So this is the one I bought because the price of the calls versus the return seemed like a pretty decent return to me. If we come out to the calculator, and remember guys, on these calculators, the thing you got to remember is the Greeks change when things start getting more volatile or as days pass around. Things like that can start making the Greeks go up more or down more. When things get volatile, the Greeks get more pricier, but the theta decay gets more. So the delta goes up, which means you're getting paid more, but theta goes up too, which means over time it goes down more. So when you buy these calls, you don't want to buy in the middle of it being up and down really bad. You want to buy before the volatility. So if we got Palantir. Let's select the option. I bought the 17th, and we're looking at the 30 calls. Let's go with the highest price, 34 right now. I think I paid 38 for mine, so I bought it a little bit higher. I might actually buy one more before the end of the day. We'll just have to see what the price is. So if we go to calculate, so if it does go up to 30 by tomorrow, that is a 424% increase. But I mean, could it? Yes. I'm looking for this to be probably to the end of the week, maybe beginning of next week. But we can take profit at any time. So right now it is at $25. So we come here at $25. If we start going up and looking, so tomorrow, if it hits, let's go with the main numbers. Where's 27? If it's 27, that's 61% on each call. Let's do it this way. So be 61%, 50%, 35%, and so forth and so on. If it's 28, you're looking at 168%, 150%, 135%, so forth and so on. At 29, you're looking at 282. Well, we'll go dollars. You're looking at $96, $90, $84, so forth and so on, like that. So you can take profits at any time within that. You know, you don't have to wait for it to hit 30. So when I was looking at that, that seemed like the best deal for me. And I think that it's, you know, even if you take Kathy Wood's stuff out of it, let me show you this. If we look at charting right here, I know it's kind of hard to see with all my lines, but you see how it's starting to form this U shape? That is whenever you start seeing selling pressure dying down and buying pressure come in. You can see right here it even followed this trend line and then spiked up. We can see that it's following support and resistance lines. You know, it's backing off when it should and bouncing back. And the things that make this bullish right now is, for one, this is the 4 hour, you have a golden cross. The 50 line is over the 200 EMA line. If you don't know what a golden cross is, search golden cross chart pattern. That is a very bullish pattern. When people see that, they buy in. So you can see right here, whenever they seen it, they bought in and it pushed it on up. Uh, Not only that, the price is above the 200 and the 50, plus you have a golden cross. That is an excellent setup, guys. That is bullish as hell on any chart. And anybody seeing that, who's into charting or technical analysis, that is a key buy-in point for them. If we look at the MACD, it's a little bit overextended on the 4-hour, but, or sorry, the MACD, it's crossing over the signal line and looking very bullish. I look for that to start separating now, and we should start getting some green candles. The RSI is a little overbought right now, so I'd look for it to take a breather, probably come down to this yellow support, or it could be this new support. Either one, it's going to hold there, consolidate for a bit, and then bounce back up. Probably that's what it'll do for the rest of this evening into tomorrow. Let me see. Good. I hope that you see the same thing that I see in it. I think that it is a good. Now remember, guys, I'm not here to tell you what to buy. I'm not a financial advisor. You should always look at things yourself. See if you find value in them. But I believe that this is a good call for right now. Another one I'm looking at. I just realized I didn't. Right here's what I'm talking about. Sorry, guys. I got ahead of myself. Right here's what I'm talking about on this chart. If you look right in there, if you look right in here, the 50-day EMA line is over the 200. That's called a golden cross. Plus, you can see that it is U-shaping out. It is following support. It is bullish as hell. Everything I was just talking about, right there's a chart for it. I'll make or I did make a video. I'm pretty sure we got a video up on this. Let me see. Yeah, I've got a quick video up on it, and I'll probably make one that's a little bit longer going into some of this, but I wanted to hurry up and get that one out there so that people could look at it themselves and see. The next one I bought today, guys, is Hood. Hood has earnings coming up. I will tell you this is a risky play. I do believe Hood is going to beat earnings. What I'm curious to see how people look at is what is their planned growth? What does it look like for growth in the next year or two for them? I think that's what's going to decide if the stock pops tomorrow or not. Sorry, guys, hang on. Let me let my dog out. Sorry, guys, there's a lizard on the porch and he had to chase it. Yeah, you might hear my dogs from time to time. I'm sorry about that. All right, but Hood is what I'm looking at now. So it has earnings, and I do know that people are positive about the earnings. That's the reason why it's come up today. So let me make sure you're on the same page here. Yeah. Now this one is a little bit more pricier, but I bought this week's because I'm only playing this for earnings. If it doesn't go through, I'm selling. I'm not holding on to this. So this is a 15-minute. You can see how it's U-shaped up. U-shaped up. You can see that it is the 50 line has crossed over the 200, but this is not the 4-hour. The golden cross happens on the 4-hour in the day chart. But on the 15-minute chart, we do have the 50 crossing over the 200. We don't have the 100 yet, but that's just on the charting. This is a earnings play, so that's not as important. If I was playing this as shares and it not being an earnings play, I'd probably look for this to come back and retest this 50 and bounce, and then that 200 cross. But as it is, if you didn't catch it down here at the 15 and 18 and buy in, you'd still have another buy in, because I'm pretty sure it's going to come back down, retest, and then go. That's what it looks like. You can see that it sold off some today. I did buy into this one a little hot, so I am down on it right now. But with it being so cheap now, I might buy some more. I really haven't looked at what's expected for earnings. I just kind of went by the gut. This is kind of like a really big lottery ticket for me. So now you can kind of see with me in real time what is people saying about earnings. So just type into Google what to expect out of Hood earnings. So Robinhood earnings on tap. Here's what to expect. Breaks down what to expect from Robinhood's earnings. Plenty of earnings releases on the menu after the bell today. We've got Nvidia, which I'll go over that right here in a second too. I think that'll be a good play. Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, but a lot of focus is on Robinhood. Let's bring in Yahoo, whatever that chick's name is, Yahoo's Finance, Ians Ferry, I don't know. Terrible with names, guys. We're watching this closely, and we can, if y'all are in this, I'll probably be streaming this earnings this evening. I need to check the time to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it'll probably be about 4:30 or 5. But so the street is expecting a loss per share of 26 with a revenue right around 55 million. So as long as they get the loss per share at 26 or better, then and the revenue of this or better, the revenue will matter more than loss per share. But as long as they beat this, that is going to be good, and I think they are going to beat it. I think this is a very conservative look at Robinhood. And what analysts will be paying attention to is payment for order flow, which represented 80% of the company's revenue in the first quarter. And this is where the brokerages sell trades to market makers. Guys, if you kept up with AMC or any of that, you know what pay for order flow is. Given the competition from E-Trade, Charles Schwab, and also what's happening with crypto trading volume. So if the volume for trading stocks has dipped a little, blah, 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 blah. Also make a note that there are a lot of analyst ratings out there because of the 25-day quiet period after the IPO. So you have 3 ratings out there. So everybody's got an opinion. I'm wanting to see what could be really interesting and spicy, if you want to describe it like that, is that shareholders are apparently be able to submit questions on the earnings call. See, that'll be good. Let me see if I can. This is not telling me what I want to know. What do they expect? Let's see what NASDAQ is saying. Wait, what is? No, this is old. This is a fintech group. If my internet will work right, we'll get into it. Really? Yeah, but the numbers are unlikely matter. I agree with that. Uh, the uh, the earnings beat or miss is not going to matter as much as you know. Um, in my opinion, it's going to be what's going forward. The company's projections made it clear that Robinhood was unprofitable in the second quarter, losing between 487 million to 537 million. Blah 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 blah. The stock is in the middle of a tug of war. Yeah, so really it's going to be up to the investors. What do they see out of this earnings call? Do they see something positive or do they see something negative out of it? Um, so a few things is going to matter about this, and it's going to be a risky play, but it's going to be a play that if it wins, it is going to pay off big. Just make sure if it loses, get out of there quick. That's pretty much the takeaway from it. And I'm betting on it pretty big. I got 4 shares in it. Is there any other stocks you'd like me to look at before I do a rundown of some of these others? Just let me know if there is. Let me check. Let me check Discord, see if there's anything. Okay, while we wait to see if there's anything there, let me go ahead and go over AMC. You know, what's going on with AMC? I know there's a few of us that's in AMC right now, so I like to try to keep a heads up. We can see that it did sell off a little bit today, but pretty much this is overall a consolidation. You can see since it's dropped, it's been consolidating, almost trending up. It's been kind of going along with the 50 and 100 EMA and MA lines. You can see that we've made a trend channel going up right here, and that is pretty much sticking to that right now. And I'd look for that. Actually, in the morning, I wouldn't be surprised if it sold off just a little bit. Maybe if coming into the morning, if it dipped down to this orange one and then took off again. But I think this is on the road back up over 40. But guys, this is a heavily shorted stock, so don't be surprised if it gets pushed down some. That's just the way that this stock goes. It ebbs and flows. Now, Mmat today had a cool little change of events. Now, this is another heavily shorted stock, so keep that in mind as we talk about it. But we can see that I had it in a trend channel, and I said not to expect nothing much out of this until it breaks out. And if we look today, it did break out. And not only did it break out, it come up, retested, came back down, and it looks like for another test. If this continues, it'll be consolidation. If it breaks below this, and we get a candle that opens and closes below this, look for it to come back down to here. If it bounces, look for it to either consolidate out or pop up above. So our next resistance here is at 309. That's what we want to see it go up over sometime tomorrow if we're in that trend. But again, like I said, guys, this is a heavily shorted stock. Look for it to maybe get sold off from time to time. But overall, I think that we are finally bullish again on it, and I'd look for it to at least to come back up to this 3.38 mark, and then from there, if we can get above that, we're looking at 366 and then 396. If we can get above that, we should be on our road back to $5. That's what I'm expecting out of this. But so overall, the takeaway is it is bullish. Technically, this is not a double top, as you can see. that it or the wick did not reach right up here at this neckline, nor is it in any type of trend. If we had a trend and it met at that trend line, then we could call it a double top. So the way it sits right now, if it consolidates out, if it bounces once or twice more, we're looking at a bull flag. If it bounces below, look for it to test back down here. Wish is another one we're looking at, guys. Right now it's consolidating. All it needs is some buyers come in. We know the float is not actually low, but it's not super high neither. It's at 500,000. But the volume on this thing is 30 million. That is more than enough to send this stock going, as long as we have the right type of bullish pressure on it. If we can see right here, we now have something to shoot for. So we're looking at right in that area off to, let's go ahead and bring it all the way to the end. And let's darken this up red so we know it goes along with it. Okay, so now we're looking for a breakout either below or above it to see which way it's going. We have a flag formed, a ascending triangle. So now we just need to wait for the breakout. The breakout will tell us if it's going to be bullish or bearish. So you can see we're coming close. It's going to do one of them here soon. These are commonly actually break out to the bottom, but the reason why I never go with what they say this is a bull flag or bear flag is because they break either way, really. You can say that, and maybe if you had some other indicators to go along with it, you could kindly bet on that a little bit, but I never confirm it being bullish or bearish until we see that breakout. If you're watching this channel enough, you know that I have certain points I look for, and I look for confirmation. You should never buy into a stock and hopes that it would go up, or hopes that it'll do one thing or another thing. You should have clear and concise reasons of why to do something. Have a plan. Another one that we're looking at is SPICE. It is doing the same exact thing, but we have more of a consolidation than a triangle on this one. So I'm not going to draw a triangle on this one. It's just pure consolidation. Again, before we was looking at a breakout of trend. I think I may have gave y'all a certain number, but because of the consolidation, we're going to go with the support and resistance lines. So if it breaks below, a candle opens and closes below this red line, it's probably coming down more. If it breaks above the orange line, open and close, or even better, if it retested and bounced, then that will become support, and we'll look at the next one. But if it confirms this as support, that would be a good buy-in spot. Let me see if there's any questions. FAMY. Let's look into it, So he's bought into a stock, and he's wondering, should I hold, or should I sell at just a small profit? Even if it's at a loss, guys, if a stock's not going to do nothing, then take the loss, go on, and find something else. So FAMY, let's take a look at it. FAMI. I said Y. Not too bad. I can see right here where it had to break out. I see what you're looking at. Yeah, I say it really got scary right here. Let's throw up some lines and look at it real quick. Guys, I have a video up on how to do this if you're ever interested. I have a more longer format and a shorter format. I've got all the way down to what is a candle, up to what are trend lines, to what are support and resistance lines, how do I draw them, how do I use them. And I'm going to continue that series on. I usually try to make a couple every week and throw up there. So, the story behind it. It came up. We crossed over. What's the 4 hour look at real quick? Yeah, see it's came down. I'll tell you the 4 hour doesn't look that good. So let's look at the 15-minute and see if there's any profit here. Yeah, you almost had a cup and handle. Let me zoom in. Alright, so here's what I'm seeing. Let me see on the 3-minute. Yeah. Let me check the other after hours. What has it been doing during those? Yeah. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't, my get out point on this would be this bottom line down here, which is 37.67. If it broke down to there, then I would get out. As of right now, sometimes what happens with these stocks is they'll cross over the 200, come back down and then go back up. So as long as it hasn't broken that bottom support yet, if I was in this, I would hold to see what it does. That's only another 10 cents. So that's like for every 10 shares, that's $1. So if you've got 100 shares, that's $10. Versus if you come back up to at least this point up here, the 41.28, or even at that one, the 40, that is that would be about 20 to $22 profit. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio that you're risking. If you don't like that ratio, then go with the 38.18 as your get out point. That's the next support right here. That way it would be more closer to a 1-in-3 ratio of loss to profit. That's what I would do if I was into this right now. I'd wait to see if it'll cross back over this 50-day EMA line and keep going there. That would be the thing to check out. What else are we looking at here? Yeah, I'd wait to see. If you got any more questions on it, you can tag me on the Discord, or you can DM me on Twitter. I'll help you out in any way I can. Here's one that I was playing in our account on here, our $100 account earlier. So I bought in, I think it was around 1080. Yeah, 1083. And the reason I bought in, if we come back out and look at the 4 hour, look, we have a trend upwards on it. Man, there. And I won't consider it broke trend until it comes below this red line here on that mark. Uh, that would be a break of the trend. As of right now, we have uh, higher lows and higher highs. So let's see where this takes us. That's my thoughts behind that. The reason I bought in. There's 20 minutes left to go. Let me see if there's any. Yeah, charting is a great way uh, to see how price movement pretty much is taking uh, past price movement and making a prediction about future price movement. And it works really well. I mean, you can see by a lot of my lines, these things end up getting rejected there and bouncing there. And if not right at it, then usually pretty damn close to it. They're worth checking out. And if you ever got any questions about it, anything like that, just ask. I love talking about this kind of stuff. I love teaching this kind of stuff. Uh, and so far, it's been my bread and butter with it. My whole thing is looking at patterns. Um, I know with me and you was talking about options there the other day, uh, and I know it's easy just to look at these things and say, "Oh well, it's down." So I know somebody was telling me that. Oh, look at this one, it's down. It ain't just about being down. It's looking at several different indicators, which that's going to be a video I have coming up soon. Is what indicators do I use, and then I'm going to break them down each one, like the EMA and MA lines, the RSI and the MACD. What's a good way to use them? Things like that. This all looks very complicated, but when you break it down like that, it is super easy, guys. It really is. It just takes time. You just gotta start using them and seeing how they work, watching charts, things like that, and it really starts coming together in no time. Let's see what else we're looking at. Is there anything popping off in the day trade market? Oh, let me tell you too, competitor, let's see. Where is it? Right here. This is called, something popped up down there. I don't know what that was. This is called Benzinga Pro. Now, this is a great tool to use. I'm going to have a video up on it. They have a 2-week free trial right now, and they have a back to school 50% off thing going on right now. If you don't get that code, just let me know and I'll give it to you. But this is a setup that I like. I have the squawk over here. So if we turn it up, whenever he gets a signal, he comes across and pretty much squawks it at you. Right up here I have a signals bar, and right now I just have it set for price spikes, block trades, and halts and resumes. But you can also put it on as option activity, opening gaps, highs or lows. See, like right here in NVIDIA, let's stop right there 1 second. NVIDIA, so people are betting against NVIDIA right now on that one. Is there anything else? Down here is a calendar. Right now I have it set for earnings, but you can also set it for mergers, conference calls, analyst ratings, SEC filings, all that stuff. You can see it just as a list, like if I take hood off, you can see that there's a whole list here, or you can search for a specific ticker, like hood. Over here I have the details, and I like this, that way I can get a quick view, like look at Roku here. get a quick view of it, get a quick view of just the news on Roku, and up here is advanced news feed, so we can pick between sources, categories, screeners, watch lists, all that
Coming
good
up
stuff.
after the close today, earnings from NVDA, NVIDIA, CSCO, Cisco, HOOD, Robinhood Markets, KEYS, Keysight Technologies, LBL Brands, SNPS Synopsys, VSCO, Victoria's Secret, RRGB, Red Robin Gourmet Burgers, YY, Joy. Reporting after the close.
That's a squawk. So any good news information comes across, he squawks it at you. um, I just seen something there I wanted to pop back up to real quick. Roku is one I'm watching. And the way I've got it set here is I want to see it break out of this trend line and up over this resistance line. Right now it's at 363. Once I see that, I'm going to consider this to be in a reversal and buy back into it. I'm also looking at Square as possibly coming on down and buying puts. Square, I'm bullish overall on it, but it does dip a lot. If you look at the 4-hour, it's like Tesla, it dips all the time. So it's a good one to buy calls and puts on. If you see this one go under that, red 200 day, then it's probably coming on down to about 230. Tesla hit it back up today. See, it's back up. If you would have got this one on that dip, that is 256. I wanted to get in on it, but I've just got too many irons in the fire right now and missed out on it. Yesterday I put up on Twitter, guys, Kellogg puts, and if you got in on it, congratulations, but I don't think it's done yet. I think it's coming down to at least the green 50-day, but it's probably more likely coming down to at least the 200. This is a 4-hour. We can see that it often dips that low. Let's see if there's any news out right now. What about on... Let's see... Kellogg News. See, they're calling for calls. And Kellogg's will go back up. I mean, that's not a question. It's just what is it going to do in that meantime.
S&P futures hitting more lows now, 4407.
Yeah, I think this is coming on down. Let's look at some options on Kellogg. I played it this morning. I put it on Twitter. If you keep up with Twitter, I put plays on there, and then when I got time, I've been starting to make short videos on real quick picks. So that's something you can start checking. I post to Twitter when I do that. Also, you can check the channel on YouTube. If you hit that bell icon, it'll notify you when I put up a new video. Same thing with Twitter. If you hit that bell icon, it'll notify you when I put up a new tweet. And I only tweet about stock stuff. So the news that might affect stocks, charts, stuff like that, plus picks and things like that I think are worth looking at. But you should always look at it yourself. Don't just go by what I say. But this is one I called out yesterday. If you had bought it this morning, you'd be up big time right now. See, look, these 65 puts I was calling for is up almost 300%, about 250% right now. That's pretty good. Let's take a look at this one on the calculator real quick, because this might still be a play. Where is my calculator? Get a price. I mean, so far we've been killing it with these options. We've had some really big plays, and you know, other than Sophie, I don't know if there's one that we've lost money on yet that I can think of. Not this week anyway. So if we go on down to the 62, what is it like if we go on out? So let's do both. Let's do right now. These
Market
$5.
on close in balance now, $3.8 billion on the sell side.
I've got this on calls too. So let's go to right now the 20th and do 65 puts. Calculate. So we're looking at this to go anywhere from 65 down to 62. And this don't even show down to 62 right now. So if it goes the lowest, you're looking at $61 or 244%. If it only hits 65, which is another 50 cents, you're looking at about 24% tomorrow or $14 today. So let's look if we go on right here to these $5 puts. At the, was it 60? No, we want to do the 62.50. Yeah. So if we go all the way down to 62.50, we're looking at 1,380%. But if we just go even down to, we go down like 64, looking at 80%, because these are only $5 puts. 140 at $64. So yeah, I mean, if a person bought 5 of those, he could make $37, $35 real quick. To me, there's just not enough meat on that one. Let's go out to the 17th. Let's start with 65 on that one. So if we hit 65, that's only 10 to 9%. Tomorrow's the 19th, so that's that. That's $15, about 10%. Starts coming on down. We're looking at $35, $46, and see, all these is doable. I think it could come on down to 62. So even if it hits like at 63, you're looking at about 87%. So let's look back at the chart one second. Oh, Nash, we can go back over Wish if you want to. I don't remember if I went over it or not. Hey, Nash, you still in here? Text me if you are. Or message me, I mean. If you're still in here, we'll go over it. I'm going to see if there's any interest in streaming the Hood earnings call. Let me throw it up in Discord and Twitter real quick. And then we'll check back on that and see if there's anybody who wants to. I don't know if it was me or not. I logged in from this thing earlier. But okay. Okay, yeah, Nash. Okay, we'll go over it then. I just wanted to make sure that you were still in there. Wish. Okay, so what we did with Wish, this is on the 15-minute. I'm still really bullish. I still own some shares in this. So I just want to be clear about that. I'm not trying to push it in any way. I'm just giving you my honest opinion about it. I don't want no pump and dump situation. This is only my opinion, and you should do your own looking into it too. So with that being said, let's go over it. So what I did here is it's formed this triangle, and to me it doesn't really matter if they're bearish or bullish triangles. I always like to wait for the breakout. So what I'm looking for in this one is a breakout of either above it or below it. I like to see which way it goes before I make any more decisions. So what I did with this is I put a small position in. I bought just like 10 shares. Before I'll buy any more in, I want to see that crossover. Let's say it crosses over and it's confirmed. Now, one way you could confirm it is it could come back, retest the trend line resistance here, which will now be support. Could retest it and bounce, or you could have a candle open and close above this orange resistance line. Either one of them would be a good confirmation to me that it's excuse me, that it's broken trend. Let me get a drink here real quick.
S&P futures falling below the 4,400 level now.
That's a squat. And then futures falling low is not a good sign for the overall market. But you can see right here that it's selling off, but it's had good volume today. The volume's been 33 million. So it's still real bullish. The only thing we need is some more buying pressure to come in, and this stock's probably going to take off. If it gets above this orange line, I look for it to easily come. Let me come back a little bit on this. I look for it to easily start pulling up. Over the purple line, we should shoot straight back up to $9, the 9.35 mark. Now we might get rejected there and come back down a little bit before we actually break up over it. But after that, what is it, 786 mark, I think we're home to $9 easy. Me personally, I've got some shares in this. I don't know if I'm going to pick up any more shares or not, but I'm definitely looking at some calls on it. If I don't buy the calls, then I'll buy more shares. But I'm looking at the 17th, which is plenty enough time away. And if we look, we have good volume on them. So the $9 and $10 calls is not bad. They're $26 and $19, and we have 10,000, almost 11,000 on that one. Volume on it. So that means we're not the only ones seeing value in that. We're not the only ones that think it can keep going. What in the world happened to my chart? Oh, that's for the call. That's not the actual chart. So these little sell-offs and stuff, it makes no difference until they break one of these trend lines. Uh, of course, if it goes back up over the green 50-day and the red 200, it's more bullish. I'd like to see it back up over that line, but the fact that it's not right now on the 3-minute makes no difference to me until it breaks one of those lines. You can see it's kind of consolidating out uh, what looks to be mostly the green 50-day, but also the 100 MA. We'll have to wait for them to separate a little bit more before we tell. But we just have to. It's just a waiting game just to see. You got any other stocks or anything you want me to look at? If there is, I don't care. I mean, we got time. I'm gonna probably try to string the Hood earnings call. So if you want me to look at anything else right now, is the time to do it. Let me see when the Hood's earning call is. I know it's after market. What time? Let me see what time. And also on this one, you can ask questions. Before I keep going here, let me see if you. Alright, guys, if that's it, then, if you don't want me to look at nothing else, we'll call this stream over. If you want to join us here, it'll be 4:30 or 5. Just check Twitter out, and we can go from there about when the conference call